Hi, this is Catherine Morgan from Point A to Point B Transitions, and I am also the editor-in-chief of Carol Roth's blog, Business Unplugged, which is why I am talking to the fabulous Carol Roth today.
Hello.
So we are going to open up a big old can of worms with this interview. I wound Carol.
That's my favorite thing to do, Catherine. There's nothing I like to do more than just open up a big old can of worms. What you got for me? What kind of can we got today?
Beware, rant coming. Okay, so in the ethos, in the business system ethos, we are told don't talk about politics in your business. That's a recipe for disaster. You're also told about not to talk about it at holiday meals. I think that's actually good advice. But in your business, and as we're coming up to election season here in the US, I wanted you to talk about how you've made decisions about politics in business, because you've gone the completely other direction.
Yeah, I never follow rules and I never follow my own rules. So do as I say, not as I do. And so I will tell people, correct, do not talk about politics in business because there's only downsides for that. I have purposely set my life up to be extremely flexible and do whatever the heck I want to do. And fortunately, because of those decisions I've made and sacrifices I made early on financially, I am able to do that. Right. But do not think for a second that I have not lost a lot of business because people are worried about the fact that I have political affiliations. In fact, I have political affiliations that I am not even politically affiliated with, which is pretty amazing. People slap labels on my belief system all the time, and the fact that I'm just outspoken about things is bad. And when you are a business or a brand influencer, there's something called brand safety, which is what are the things that influencer or business might be talking about that could come back on your business. And politics is a big one, along with things like alcohol and cannabis and posting sexy pictures and those kinds of things. None of the other ones, but politics is, center of the plate for me. And so I had to make a conscious choice. I do commentary on that as part of my business. So if I wanted to continue to do that, I have to do that. But it has not done me any favors on other sides of my business and has confused the heck out of people. So I think you need to be really careful if you are a business and you need to make a choice. If your business is something that is directed at a target audience that has a political affiliation or is politically charged, whether that be something around guns or around women's rights or something liberal or something hippie-ish or something super conservative, then absolutely you should be making those comments because that's part of the brand and that's part of the community that you're cultivating.
So that would be an integrity with your brand. That wouldn't be seen as an outlier because that's right. Part of your whole go-to-market. Your target demographic is really concerned about those things, and that's part of what is attracting them.
If you are Black Rifle Coffee, you're not concerned that you're going to offend the liberally minded people because you are Black Rifle Coffee, right? So that is part of your brand. That's part of who you are. So feel free to comment on those things that would be appropriate to that more conservative or libertarian leading audience. That makes sense. If you are, Joe's shampoo brand and you're trying to get everybody across the spectrum, then keep your mouth shut. As an individual and as a business, your business should be your focus and don't talk about it. This is a really funny thing, Catherine. I think people have forgotten you can think things and say them and not do that online. Like there is an opportunity for your friends and family to be the only people who know what a jerk you are. You don't need to let everybody in the world know that. Now, obviously, again, I have not followed this example. Everybody knows that I'm a jerk, but it's not something that's for everyone. So you can keep that knowledge to a very core base of people in real life. You don't have to do that online. And you also have to be careful about doing too much of that in real life outside your core circle, because then somebody will photograph it or, video it and then put it online and, you end up in the same place. But I would just stay away from it. If your business is your priority, There is nothing good that comes from being political unless that's core to your strategy. So just don't do it.
Okay, but big brands seem to be jumping into it. What about Nike? And it seems to be working out fairly well. Are consumers now expecting brands to take a stand on things? Is that something
Well, it's worked well for some and it's not worked well for others. And for some, it's had sort of the opposite effect that has been intended. I just think that it's bad. Like, if you're going to do something like not polarizing. Like, we care about the environment. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of political, but nobody's going to say you're a jerk for caring about the environment. They just might not care, right? They just might not be as into it, but like, nobody's going to take a real big issue with that. I think it's a big gamble. Certainly some big businesses are doing it. I kind of think it's a mistake. I think it could end up having long-term implications, or just because it worked out doesn't mean it was a good idea, right? The ends don't justify the means. If you're a small business, you don't have that luxury. So,
yeah, and you don't have, I actually wrote this in one of our posts today, you don't have the crisis management budget that a big company does. Reputation risk is a thing, and we need to watch for it as small business owners, because we maybe can't come back from that.
Right. You don't have the capital to fight it. You don't have enough long-term sort of durability, and you are more associated with your brand. Nike, Phil Knight's now chairman or executive chairman. There is, no CEO. I mean, there is a CEO. He's just not as recognizable. I mean, most people probably couldn't name him. So somebody coming out and saying something doesn't necessarily have that direct reflection on a person that then kind of cascades onto the brand, as does if you're a small business owner and you're super tied to that. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it with restaurants where people have shouted one another down or have been refused service because of a political affiliation. We've seen all kinds of boycotts called for all kinds of things. Just like, keep your head down, focus on your business. It's actually better for your mental health anyway, because at the end of the day, none of this stuff matters. It's just a bunch of people chattering around.
So basically your advice is
no, zip it.
Zip it. Concentrate on your business, keep your head down.
Right. And if one day you want to go into politics, you can go into politics. Otherwise, just keep it to your close circle of friends and family.
All right, Carol, another one of those, do as I say, not as I do.
Always.
Thank you.